Okay, and now let me give it another listen from beginning to end. Okay, I'd say mixing wise that's pretty much done. I would leave it at this point. Perhaps tomorrow I'll come back and see if I would still want to change stuff. Now that we're here, let's see what we can do on our master channel at this point. Just some rough mastering, if you will. For that, I need to reference some songs first to see what I really need to do. Okay, first of all, let's raise the bass a little bit again. So, where's the Pro EQ? Pro EQ. Tiny bit of shelving. Okay, compressor, just really a tiny bit. Yeah, not too much of that compressor, just 1 dB is really all you need. Otherwise it gets too squashed and too pumpy. Now let's check about that saturation again. Yeah, this is kind of stupid that this distortion plugin still filters a little bit. Even if you put it all the way up, the filter's still at 16K. That doesn't make any sense. But you also cannot put this really in parallel, because then you will get some phasing issues. On the vocals somehow it still works, but on anything else it doesn't. Nah, I don't really like how it's taking out the nice sizzly high end. So we can't really use that. You know what? Let's check what the tri-comp sounds like. Okay, this one has a saturation up, that's interesting. Okay, and now to further destroy your ears, let's try that limiter. Looking forward to this one. So ceiling, let's put it to about -1 dB. Weird thing is ceiling and threshold are kind of work in the same way. It's more like you have two thresholds. Just don't use the threshold button, just use the ceiling button and then turn up the input until you have the desired amount of limiting. Kind of still need to tweak that tri-comp a little bit more. Perhaps I don't need it at all. Nah, I don't really want to use it. It's squashing too much. But I still need something to control the peaks a little bit more just before they hit the limiter. So let's do something like this again. So this first compressor is just to add a touch of punch to the whole mix. And this one is more to take care of the peaks. Usually I like to use saturation for this, but don't really have that option right now. Again, something's messed up here. Where's my drum bus? Oh, freaking hate this.
Start running. There will be no stone left unturned. Keep running.
Okay, let's put the limiter after the fader. And now I'm gonna use this fader, the master fader, put it down here, and automate some very short sections when things need to hit a little bit more. Like here. Let's give this, put this over there, put this over here, and just raise it 1 dB, like this. Okay, so this hits a little bit harder, and now we need to look for some sections where this is the case. Here as well. And here.
Start
and definitely back here. Okay, perhaps the pumping compressor is a little bit too pumping? You know what I want to do? I want to trigger it using the kick and the snare. Only those two separately. Then I have a bit more control over this. Let's sidechain it. Here, main inserts 2. Compressor. Put a pre-fader here as well. Main insert 2. Pre-fader. See, now I can control how much the kick and the snare trigger this compressor that will then add more punch to the whole mix. Okay, now the snare. That was stupid. Hang on. Now I need to leave the threshold where it is and just use the sidechain setting level here on the snare to drive it into the threshold. Okay, of course we need to check that during the double kick section if it's not doing too much.
There will be no world left unburned. It is
No, it's okay. Fine. Now let's give it one last listen from beginning to end. Don't tell me that EQ on vocals is not correctly automating again. Why in the world is it turned off? Leave it on.
A hapless marauder flung into the vastness, left to brood alone, left without a home, with the power that no one had known. Following magnetic trails, stellar winds upon his sails, weary tyrant flows with ancient tech in tow, and all reports say he's destroying as he goes. Stay awake, that one they lost is coming back. Welcome, fate, this universe.
Okay, I kind of want to lower that one note here as well, with a very narrow Q.
Say that one they lost.
Let's hope this cut doesn't sound too weird to the whole vocals.
And all reports say he's destroying as he goes. Every tyrant flows with ancient tech in tow. And all reports say he's destroying as he goes. Stay awake, that one they lost is coming back. Welcome, fate, this universe ain't so big after all. Expect no fall.
Okay, now I also want to take that parallel compression track on the kick drum and lower it a little bit on those double kick sections. See, because that's just too much. Let's put it to about minus, yeah, so lower 3 dB. No, let's make it 4 dB. So to minus 7 I need to go.
Expect no fall. Revenge is Hades' lesser cold. Start running, there will be no stone left unturned. Keep running, there will be no world left unburned. It is well.
Perhaps here as well. Come on. I already know I don't like working with version 3. There's some stuff different in version 2 that I don't like, and other stuff that's just getting messed up all the time. Super annoying. Don't like it at all. Let's give it a little bit more stereo width. Okay, you know what? At this point, I say I call it finished and done. I will also release this song with this mix perhaps next week, so you can really just listen to the full end product without me rambling along and going back and forth in the mix here. So I hope you enjoyed the series. I hope you got something out of it. If not, I hope it's a good time waster, I suppose. Let me know what other kinds of challenges you want me to tackle. I definitely still want to do a mixing challenge where I only use headphones, and also one where I go on lowest budget as possible, so also using free plugins. So by all means, suggest me some great free plugins that you like to use. Yeah, and stuff like that. So please like, subscribe, leave that comment below, and I will see you next time.